The Gabriel Wisdom Show.
Financial Wisdom weekdays, coast to coast here on the radio affiliates of the Business Talk Radio Network. Business Talk Radio Network, serving radio stations everywhere in the United States. If you miss a broadcast, remember the shows are also podcasts. You can hear the archives at businesstalkradio.net. Right now, we turn to Jack Garson. Jack Garson's new book is called How to Build a Business and Sell It for Millions. Jack Garson writes from the trenches of the business world as founder of Garson Claxton and leader of his law firm's business group. Jack is also director of the Metropolitan Washington, D.C. Airports Authority, which oversees Dulles International and Washington Reagan National, and he writes a monthly column for Smart CEO magazine. Wow. Hey, Jack, thanks for being here.
Oh, my pleasure. Thanks for having me, Gabe.
Are you also a pilot?
No, I stick close to the ground.
Okay. Well, I like to fly airplanes.
That's right.
When I see that you are the director of the Metropolitan Washington, D.C. Airports Authority, I stand at attention.
Well, I'll be happy to get you a special tour.
That would be great. How to build a business and sell it for millions. You're one of the few people with positive economic news here. Why do you say this is a good time to even start a business?
It's a fantastic time if you have the persistence to stick with the business for the next 3 to 5 years. What we have right now is businesses that are being sold dirt cheap. We're coming out of a real deep recession. Very few people have the money to buy businesses. The ones that are doing it are buying bargains, and they're going to be flipping those businesses for tremendous profits in 3 to 5 years. When they do that, they're going to broadcast it to the world to get acclaim and to attract investors.
Okay. Let's find out how you do it then. I buy off on the timing. I think you're absolutely right. I'm looking forward to reading your book. I just received it, How to Build a Business and Sell It for Millions. But first of all, how do you find a business?
Well, whether you find it or whether you come up with your own idea, there are 4 key ingredients that I found, together with a number of others that I mentioned in the first 20 chapters of the book, which is all about building businesses. And those 4 key criteria are profitability. That is, you're consistently profitable when you do business. Sounds easy, not done very often. Second, you have a competitive edge, so that when competition is attracted to your business due to that profitability, you have a way to fend them off. The third thing is sustainability. And we've seen so many businesses fail for this reason in this great recession, because sustainability is your ability to make it through the difficult times. Often it means you have enough cash reserves. And third is scalability. That's the ability to grow your business. You've got to be able to have a business that can grow, or no one's going to buy it. I'm not going to pay $10 million for a business if I can't make it worth $20 million. I'll just as soon stick with the $10 million in bonds.
It sounds like it might be a lot harder than I thought here. You remember the old Steve Martin bit, how to be a millionaire. First, get $1 million. Then, we're going to find out how to build a business and sell it for millions. This is an interesting book. Jack Garson, the author, is with us right here on Financial Wisdom.
The Gabriel Wisdom Show.
Gabriel Wisdom.
The madness of cows and other popular delusions. Wait a second. It's the madness of crowds and other popular delusions. Still makes sense. Financial Wisdom with Gabriel Wisdom.
Are you ready for the next 10, maybe 20 years of rising interest rates? Interest rate cycles have moved in 20-year patches dating back almost 100 years. This last downdraft for rates lasted 24 years, and now they're beginning to go up. Along with the sell-off in bonds, the Federal Reserve has halted its emergency $1.25 trillion program to buy mortgage debt, placing even more upward pressure on interest rates. Well, we're going to hear the forecast from the New York Times, which says interest rates have nowhere to go but up. Well, maybe that's not such a bad thing, especially if you have some money. Or if you create a business that can generate some money. Jack Garson is here. Jack Garson is the founder of Garson, Claxton, LLC, and the leader of his law firm's business group. He's guided companies all the way from startup to celebration dinner following the big sale. And his new book from St. Martin's Press is called How to Build a Business and Sell It for Millions. Jack, I joked just before the break about recalling the old Steve Martin comedy routine about the flim flam man who says how to make $1 million. Here's how. First, get $1 million, and then our producer Kevin piped in. You didn't hear it. Or withhold step one, which is get $1 million, and just say step one is going to cost you $1 million.
There you go.
Which, very good, Kevin. Chapter 10, Overcoming Self-Destructiveness, Your Worst Enemy. What are you talking about here?
Well, this is one of the things you see least talked about in business advice books and in business consulting. Yet it's one of the biggest problems you'll see, is that sometimes the greatest enemy of a business is the owner of the business. I've seen owners of business go on a spree of litigation where they'll spend millions of dollars because they're angry at somebody, and it does nothing to help the business. It sets the business back because it's a tremendous waste of resources and time. And if you find yourself over and over again disrupting the growth of your company and not making the right decisions, it's like the same guy at a party who has too much to drink and says the wrong thing and is kicking himself the next day. But it's rampant, and it's not something that people usually get a handle on.
Surprising. The book is called How to Build a Business and Sell It for Millions by Jack Garson. And Chapter 11 is about the right structure for your business. Incorporate or LLC or partnership. Does it really matter if your goal is to build a business and sell it for millions?
Oh, absolutely. I have two wonderful clients who, long before they met me, set up a regular C corporation. They built their business up over 20 years, got a great offer to sell their business. They showed the numbers to their accountant, and their accountant told them they'd have to pay more than 50% of the sales price in taxes because they set their company up the wrong way. They should have been a subchapter S corporation or an LLC, and they would have saved millions of dollars. And now that they've realized their mistake, it takes 10 years to make an effective change. So it makes all the difference in the world.
Do people starting up a business commonly give too much of the stock to employees, and then if it's successful, they wind up with little to show?
Absolutely. Well, there's a bigger problem that's right on that point, and that is when you go and your goal is to grow your company and sell it, the investors that are buying your company and hoping to flip it, they want to see that the executive team has no more than 10 to 15% of the stock in the company because they want to see that they're invested and that they're committed, but they want to make sure that there's plenty of stock for other purposes. A lot of people, it's like a football huddle when they set up their business. They get five guys together, and they say each of you get 20%, regardless of the contribution. What happens down the road is they have to buy the stock back. I had one company, they outgrew their chief information officer. He had 5% of a very large company, and we had to spend a fortune to buy back stock he didn't really deserve.
Isn't that interesting? How to Build a Business and Sell It for Millions. Jack Garson is the author, and he's our guest here on the Gabriel Wisdom Show on the Business Talk Radio Network. The book is just out from St. Martin's Press. It's so interesting, this whole area. If you sell a business and you get a big lump sum, you still have to pay tax on that as a capital gain, and then you no longer receive a paycheck for years and years. Does it really pay to sell your business?
Well, in many cases, the folks that I work with have made a nice amount of money throughout the years and established a certain amount of financial security. When they reach that golden pot at the end of the rainbow, selling their company, first, we've structured things to minimize the tax consequences. And second, we've coached them quite a bit to get the right set of advisors to help them manage their money. And in many cases, it's not a choice between selling or not selling. It's a choice between walking away from a business and leaving it beside the road like an abandoned car or selling it. You see, when you get to a certain age, if you're not selling your business, then you're shutting it down, and you're leaving so much value on the table in most cases, because if you build it right a good business will sell.
Yeah. As Ray Kroc, the founder of McDonald's, liked to say, you're either green and growing or you're ripe and rotting.
Right.
So, Chapter 26, the book on your business, what your company needs to be a bestseller. What's this about, Jack?
Well, you've got a whole area of presentations that you're going to make to the prospective purchase of your business. The book is all of the information that you want to present in written form, and it's accompanied by the dog and pony shows. And that's where you pull together a group of people that will actually make the presentations to their purchasers. But the biggest mistake that owners of companies make when they do this process is they take their eye off the ball. They take their best people off the most important jobs because they want to impress the purchasers. And then the company starts to fall apart, and sales start to decline. And then the purchasers start to take advantage of it, and they start lowballing on the price. So it's really critical. Savvy people, and that's why you read the book so you can learn from the mistakes of others. Savvy people don't affect the operations of their company while they're putting the book together and while they're making these presentations.
Jack, your law firm helps people with this sort of thing, how to build a business and sell it for millions. We're out of time, but very quickly, if you were going to build a business and try to sell it for millions, what would be your favorite industry?
Right now, government contractors are doing very well, and if you're in the right industries, if you're in energy, if you're in healthcare, if you're in infrastructure, you're talking the sweet spot.
Okay, great. Jack Garson. Thank you, Jack. Stay with us. This is GW.